Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Motherhood is both amazing and difficult at the same time. The Passport Mommy, Michelle Jerson, is here to share in your journey.
It's amazing. It really is, just watching them grow and see how much change and how much they learn just without the filters around them.
Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome to the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, and you know I love having moms who are entrepreneurs on the show, and I especially love having moms on and people in general who specialize in wellness, because I am a big fan of healing naturally, and I have a 2-year-old and I have a 3-month-old, and now that my 2-year-old is in daycare, she's always sick, and I just shudder at the idea of constantly having her on antibiotics. So today I have with me Dr. Asla Tanugar-Samancha. She is the CEO and founder of B&U, an innovative provider of natural bee products. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you too, and I'm very happy to be with you here today.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about your background and how you started this company. I love the title, by the way, B-E-E-N-U.
Thank you. As I'm a food scientist, and I was working as a professional in the beekeeping and bee product sector. And during that time, I had a very low immune system boy, my first son. He was having high body temperature nearly every week. This started when he was just 11 months old, and it lasted until he was 5 years old. And
wow.
We had to give him a lot of antibiotics. And when he was just 5 years old, because of using too much antibiotics and low immune system, he developed a case called Henner-Schönlein vasculitis. It's like a side effect of using too much drugs.
Okay.
And this is inner bleeding. His body was bleeding on itself. It started with the skin, and it also jumped to the stomach and the intestine. It was really dangerous and horrible. And most of the doctors, they couldn't recognize the case. It was very hard to recognize. We visited 18 different pediatrists, and at the end, one doctor recognized the case, and he said you have to stop using any drugs at all. You cannot use anymore. This is like an autoimmune disease. And we have to develop his immune system. That's the only cure. And,
wow. So he developed this autoimmune disease from all of the antibiotics that he was on?
Yes. And naturally, he also had low immune system.
Okay.
The immunoglobulins in his blood was low. It was nearly half of a normal child. And he told me to improve his immune system, and he asked me, why don't you give him propolis and royal jelly, bee products?
Okay.
And I said, because it's not produced locally and it comes from China, and I don't believe in products from China. Mm-hmm. They are all low quality issues. And he said, why don't you produce yourself? Because my husband is a beekeeping expert and an agricultural engineer. And I'm in this sector. I said, okay. And then we started production of propolis and royal jelly. We started with the beekeepers that we know. And but when you produce propolis, it's like a stone. It's mixed with beeswax. It's a resin from the trees, natural resin. But when you collect it from the hive, it's like a stone. You cannot eat it, digest it. It needs extraction. And I extracted propolis in my own lab and developed it like a drop. And I started giving this drop to my child. It has a lot of phenolics and flavonoids from the trees, natural antioxidants, which supports the immune system and regulates the body, regulates the metabolism of the body, and improves the immune system. And I started giving him royal jelly mixed with raw honey. And after 6 months, we saw the immunoglobulins in the blood going up and up by time. And when it came to a normal level, everything was cured. He was cured totally. The Henner-Schönlein vasculitis was gone. And besides, the high body temperature was gone too. And he was just 5 years old when this happened. Now he's 14 years old. and I didn't use any more antibiotics and drugs since then. And he didn't have any more problems.
That's amazing.
And,
that really is. I know. I was
really,
just going to say, and I've used a lot of bee pollen products in the past, and I know in addition to the amazing benefits that you're talking about, they're also really great for energy. But we could get into that soon because I want to hear the rest of your story.
There are 3 different products, actually 4 different products from the hive: pollen, propolis, royal jelly, and honey. These are all different products. So pollen is the stem cells of the plant. It's a natural protein, vitamin, and mineral source. It has a different nutrient profile. Propolis is just a resin. It just has phenolics and flavonoids, and it's 0 calories. It's just like molecules, good for body, with 0 calories. It's like a natural food supplement. It has a different profile. But you can think propolis like a natural antioxidant source. It's the highest antioxidant power in the world compared to any other food product. You can compare it, for example, with pomegranate. It has 80 times more antioxidant compounds compared to pomegranate. So if you drink 20 drops of propolis extract, it's like drinking 1 big cup of pomegranate juice.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it
Yes.
has a different profile. And royal jelly is like the milk. It's like a mother milk for the bees. It's a bee milk. Bees produce it from their own bodies. It has royalactin. It's a special protein that's only found in royal jelly in the world. And it also has 10-hydroxydecanoic acid, which is a special organic acid found only naturally in royal jelly in the world. So it has different functional molecules that support the immune system. It's not like just a food. So you just eat 1 gram of royal jelly and you see the health benefits. So the energy part of these products is nearly not important. They are nearly like 0 calories. Pollen has a calorie. It's like a natural protein, vitamin, mineral source, but you just eat, for example, 2 or 3 desert spoon or teaspoon daily is enough. So
let me ask you, so the products that you make with these ingredients in them, how are they formed? What types of products do you sell? And where are you selling them? Because I know now I just read that they're on sale at 3,000 CVS stores nationwide and on Amazon.
That's right. We sell in Amazon with B&U brand name. We sell in our own website. We have an online website, bndu.com. So in USA, all nationwide, you can order online from also our own website. We also sell in CVS stores. We are about in 3,000 CVS stores right now with B&U products. We also, you can find our products in some natural and organic healthy shops in around New York and New Jersey. So we are trying to develop and reach the customer through this sales channel. We also have products, all of our products are natural, 100% natural. We don't use any additives, colorants, preservatives, because propolis is a natural preservative. It doesn't have a shelf life. Naturally, propolis extract is stable like forever. It doesn't deteriorate. It's a natural antibacterial agent. So if you put propolis in any product, it provides the shelf life.
So I'm sorry, for somebody who has a toddler, let's say, what would you say is the best product out of the ones that you just mentioned? What should they be taking?
If you want to take propolis, royal jelly, pollen at once, we developed a tablet, natural tablet. We added carob, natural carob in it, and as a taster to give a taste. It's a carob, pollen, royal jelly, and propolis tablet. It's easy to eat. You can swallow it with water or you can chew it. There is no coating agent or preservatives, anything unnatural, no sugars added. So tablets is very good to consume daily all these products at once, and the tablet form is available in CVS. We have two tablet forms. One is made with only carob. The second one is we also added a little bit natural raw cacao powder so that children can eat easily. So you can give it to also children. As all of our products are natural, children, even babies and adults can use easily. There is no additives, no sugar, no added sugar, no added fat. All
Great.
safe and natural.
Again, just tell everybody, what is your website so that people can go in case they don't see it on Amazon or in CVS. Tell everyone where they can go for more information.
BeeAndYou.com.
Thank you. That it's BeeAndYou.com. Dr. Asli Tanugar-Samanchi, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I am a big proponent of natural products like this, and I'm also a big fan of bee products in boosting your immune system. They are wonderful antiviral, antibacterial. So again, it's BeeAndYou.com. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. More coming up in a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back. It is that time of year where people are taking road trips or maybe they're getting on a plane. This is when we have our time away. So with me today, I have Christy Loy. She is the general manager of the Aloft and Element hotels in Boston. And I wanted to talk with her because both of those properties are very family friendly. So if you're looking for a getaway to Boston, you may want to consider these two places. Christy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Sure, absolutely. So we're going to talk about both properties, but I figured we would do one in this segment and one later in the show. So first, I want to talk with you about the Element Boston Seaport District. Tell me a little bit about the hotel.
So the Element Boston Seaport District has been open since early 2016, and we have just a fantastic extended stay property, which means we're sort of designed for longer stays. So guests have a ton of extra room inside their guest room, as well as some additional amenities like a complimentary breakfast every day, great swimming pool. We've got a wonderful motion fitness center. So really kind of a nice place to live for a weekend or even longer if somebody wanted to.
Right. And that's perfect for families, especially with little ones who may not want to go out to eat every meal. When you have those extended stay amenities in the room, it makes it easier to eat in the room. And whether you want to do that for breakfast or cook dinner for the whole family.
Definitely. I'm a mom of a 4-year-old and a 10-month-old. So to me, it is a life changer to have a kitchenette inside a guest room where I can cook something. I can, even make eggs in the morning if I decide to, or pop popcorn in the microwave for a snack. It's a game changer.
Yes, I agree. I have a 2-year-old and a newborn, and I've traveled, and I will not travel without that anymore in a hotel room or anywhere that I stay. So tell me what else. There's a heated saline swimming pool, which is really nice, and you have complimentary bikes to borrow for off-property exploring. So that makes it fun to explore the city and the area that you're around.
Yes, absolutely. It's one of those things that we want to constantly be encouraging guests to get out and see a little more, and especially our family guests. We've got like this great back patio where people can head outside and play some of our lawn games or just be able to hang out and get some fresh air. And then if someone decides to jump on our bikes to borrow, we've got a great park located really close to the hotel called Castle Island where there's, family-friendly amenities like a playground, and people can even dip their toes in the water if they want to do that. So with our location in Boston Seaport District, there's really tons to do for families in the local area.
Yeah. So tell me what this is, this current glamping special.
So we actually love this idea because gramping is a concept where grandparents these days might want to have an opportunity to interact with their grandkids, sort of away from the parent influence. Everybody knows when children are with their parents, there can be some difficult moments, but a lot of times we hear from our babysitters or our grandparents that, when the kids are with me, they're just fantastic. So we're actually creating a space where grandparents can bring their kids and kind of enjoy an experience either in hotel or out exploring our local area where they're getting that opportunity to build that one-on-one connection with their grandchild and make some memories. So we've curated a list of all different types of activities, some of them that are even complimentary, that are close to the hotel, and grandparents can take, their grandkids to be able to have those connections. So it's really fun to see, and we did a curated list for all different age groups so that it's not, if you've got a 10-year-old, they're not necessarily trying to do something that is designed for a 3-year-old.
Right. And you know what else I love about that is it encourages families to take the grandparents. So mom and dad might actually be able to get a break when they're traveling.
100%. I'm in agreement with that. And we also do like a fun in-room amenity, so, everyone can enjoy that. We're doing root beer floats right now. And because we have the kitchenette, obviously we can put ice cream in the freezer, and they have those opportunities to also treat their grandchildren to something special.
Right. That is really great. I mean, that's exciting. And there's so much to do in Boston, just around the hotel, like you were saying, as there is. But then to have all those extra amenities at the property, it really makes it a fun place to stay. So we have about a minute left. Tell me really quickly some other things to do in the area, and where can people go for more information on the Element Boston Seaport District?
Definitely. So I think no one wants to miss some of the fantastic attractions of Boston itself. And we have the Boston Fire Museum, which is located very close to the hotel, as well as the Boston Children's Museum. So both of those are our crowd pleasers. And then right across the street from us, we actually have an open park called the Lawn on D, which is a fantastic place for families to hang out, lawn games, big swings, lots of fun. So the best place to find out more about us is at our website, www.elementbostonseaportdistrict.com.
Perfect. And coming up a little bit later in the show, you're going to talk to us about the Aloft Boston Seaport District, because that is another wonderful hotel and really has some amenities for moms, which I'm excited to talk to you about. We are talking with Christy Loy. She is the general manager of both hotels in Boston, the Aloft and the Element hotels. I'm Michelle Jerson. You're listening to Passport Mommy. And don't forget, you can head to the website, passportmommy.com, for all kinds of ideas on places to go in the U.S. and abroad. More coming up in just a few.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back to the show. Thrilled to have with me my good friend and comic, Marshall Stevenson, also wonderful dad. Marshall, you just got back from a wonderful vacation with your family, a road trip you guys took.
Little road trip, Midwest. We had some bookends to see friends and then just see some of the, heartland cities.
That's really great. So how did your daughter do with a road trip?
Well, first part of it was an airplane. We flew to Cincinnati, and she did great. 2.5, she'll be 3 in December, and we said, your ears might feel funny, but don't get upset.
Right.
And then later she was like, my ears might feel funny, but I'm not going to get upset. And we kept on saying how exciting it was. Now, we were on the ground and there was a line to take off, and the pilot wasn't giving us a lot of information. And she was like, why are we not in the air? Why are we not in the air? So I kept saying, there's traffic. There's a plane in front of us.
Right.
So we were asked that question a lot during the delay, but then she did fine. I mean, she said whoa a few times when it was like, a little bumpy or whatever, but it was fine. Good.
Great.
She didn't cry at all. She said she had a good time.
Oh, that's so nice, because I saw such remarkable differences when we flew with my daughter, just between 3 months, 6 months, a year. And, at the beginning, they're pretty, first they're cry because they don't know what's happening. They want to get out of the plane. Then they're pretty chill, because you could just, if you're still nursing or giving a bottle, and then they can go to sleep. But then as they get older, you just never know how it's going to go. So I'm glad to hear that you really enjoyed it.
By the way, can we talk about this for a second? Because everyone was telling us, get on a plane, da-da-da-da-da. But we just figured, early on we'd do driving vacations, because why get on a plane? And I think I'm happy we did that. Why go through all these, horrible phases when you can just... Now, I mean, if you have to go somewhere to visit someone, then obviously, all bets are off. But people were like, no, do it early. And we're like, I think it worked out fine without having to go through... oh my God, a tantrum on a plane.
Right. Well, yeah, we went through our first tantrum on a plane, and thank goodness people were understanding around us, because we were going to Florida, I remember, to visit my in-laws. So you had all the grandparents on the plane who, understood, because they all have grandkids, and they were all making faces at my daughter. But when you go elsewhere where they're not so understanding, it can be tough. You're now those people that everybody hates on the plane.
Spring break Daytona, bring spring break and
right.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. So what can you tell us what happened a little bit, because everybody reads these horror stories of kids, we got an entire flight from Germany to New York. He was screaming for all, 17 hours of it, and it was just they were talking about suing.
Oh gosh, no. I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, there's probably only one flight out of all the ones we've taken that she's really cried on, and that was her first flight. And I think that was more so just she was throwing her neck back. She was just uncomfortable to be where she was. But after that, I just brought, when I took a trip with just myself and my daughter a few months ago, I just made sure to have a ton of activities for her to do on the plane. So we brought lots of stickers with us. We brought books. We brought toys. So it was one thing to the next, the next, the next. And she never slept on the plane like I was hoping. She never took her nap. So it was a little exhausting, but we walked the aisles and we did a lot of things and we made it work.
So we have a long distance trip in a couple of months, and we scheduled it for overnight.
Oh, that's
so
good.
This was supposed to be the warm-up, so she's now not going to be freaked out about getting on a plane, about takeoff. But, I have a feeling, at hour 6, she's going to be it's time not to be on this plane anymore.
Mm-hmm. And if she is, then you break out. I hate to advocate it, but if you have an iPad or maybe some video on the TV that they have on the plane, you could do that, or you start playing games or snacks, lots of snacks. That did it too. I remember I packed a lot of snacks.
Yeah, but your kid responds to that. My kid doesn't eat that much, She's eats like a bird, and it's snacks. They're no. Okay. I'm please have these snacks.
Okay.
No.
Well, all right. Well, maybe arts and crafts, something to keep her occupied.
I think you were onto something when you said video. I think that was good. I think they probably as much video as they want.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there are some times where I just let my screen time, rules in my own mind go out the window, because you have to weigh what's most important. And that would be one of those times. So what do you think, as far as talking about screen time? I was reading another study recently that said something like anything over 20 minutes is too much screen time for a 2.5-year-old.
Oh, I don't actually know. I mean, I've read so much about it, and I think that it's their gut. I'm not saying they're wrong, because they, are experts, but I don't think there's been any evidence that actually says that a lot of screen time is bad. In fact, when they have educational value, real educational value, it's possible that it's maybe an we don't know that magical number. It's out there, but and probably varies per kid. But I don't know. The perfect amount of educational video a day might be an hour and 17 minutes. We have no idea. I don't think they know.
Yeah, I think the premise of this article that I was reading was basically like this amount of time that you're putting them in front of the TV is less time that they have to do other educational activities that could further enhance their learning. And they were trying to say, how much are you really learning from an educational program, even when they say it's educational? So it's big stressful. I think for me, what aggravates me is my daughter loves to grab my cell phone and she flips through. And now she'll say something else. And I'm like, no, let's focus on the one thing that you initially wanted to watch before we go to something else. And I would much rather have her sit in front of the TV than on my phone where she could just keep
channel surfing. She's channel surfing.
Exactly.
So it's very hard to say. It's really hard to say because, like, we generally err on the side of not scheduling her and just letting her do what she wants to do, and she, like, comes and decides to do stuff. And generally, I mean, if you do give her free reign to watch, one of those, YouTube, like, Choose, like, at about the 50-minute point, she'll put it down.
Yeah.
So should we limit to 25? I don't know.
But getting back to, I got off topic a little bit, getting back to your plane ride and your whole trip. So what was it like? Did she stay on her schedule when you were away, or how was the driving part of the trip?
Yeah, the schedule was really tough. Like, she was, we're already at a toddler bed, so we just got to roll away and put a mattress on the floor, because so we had like a bed, and then but she didn't want to go to sleep very early. Mm-hmm. And like one night we had trouble finding dinner, and so we got delayed, and we got home late, and then she's all wired, and yeah, I think by the end she was, watching the 11 o'clock news with us, and
right.
and it was kind of bad. But at the same time, it was just like almost like we had with little like a change in Mountain Time or Central Time. Like she was just like she woke up late too. Right.
Yeah. I know it's funny. Lately on the weekends, we've been doing activities, and it's just around here, but they aren't conducive to a nap in the middle of the day. And I think to myself, well, do we just not do the activity and make sure that she gets her nap? But lately I've just said, let's just plow through and not do a nap so that we could do these activities. And I don't know if that's the best thing. I mean, it's fun. And I think, it's at this point, there's no harm if she doesn't nap every single day, but I'm not sure about that.
That's hard to say too. It's hard to say too. I don't know. She's never been a consistent napper. And so, I don't know. I generally err on the side of what you do. I mean, well, let me ask you, is she okay, or is she showing signs of overtiredness and all that?
I mean, she's okay. Her signs of overtiredness is she runs away from us. She just gets crazy and doesn't want to listen to anything. And, she's hard to control. But she doesn't,
everybody has that. That's the age.
Right. So that's basically the crux of it. I would say, maybe she'll start crying a little, but not really. It's more just like, hey, I'm going to stop listening to you and I'm going to run away and do all kinds of things.
But anyway, like, I think on vacation it's very difficult and we're lax. And so we let it kind of happen. We try not to. We go in with the best of intentions, but it's like, so she's, and we have a kid who I've mentioned is a light eater, and it's just like, well, no, I only eat grandma's waffles. These waffles were made not the way up to my specifications, so I'm not eating it. And it's like, would you like some nuts? It's like, she eats one nut, and it's like, okay, then I just want milk, and then I'll eat a grain of rice, and then...
Well, hey, It'll be interesting to see how she grows up and how she ends up eating as she gets older. But I'm with you. I'm pretty lax. I've become more lax on vacation. I remember when we used to go away, I still said, oh, we have to make sure she gets her nap and we have to go back. But I think when we were in Italy, and I know you're headed there soon, I said, okay, we're going to have to plan and go back to the hotel room in the middle of the day for her nap. And then it didn't happen. She fell asleep in the stroller when she wanted to, which worked out well because at that point she still was happy to sit in the stroller. Now I'm not really sure how that would work. But so we were just able to go about our day and do what we wanted to do anyway.
It's like you feel much better once you've given up hope that you're ever going to stick to. So wait, I get the real question is, when you got back, were you able to get back on schedule? Because
yes.
if it's okay to be off schedule, then it's okay to be off schedule on vacation. We should have started with that.
Right. It is.
Right?
Yeah.
As long as you can get back to it, then I guess being off schedule is probably good because, we've talked about trying to have them have new experiences, Maybe going to a bar at midnight is a new experience for a kid.
I don't know, I'll go crazy. But yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, I will say that it seems like after the weekends when she doesn't nap with us lately, on Monday, I'm told by her daycare that she doesn't nap. But then the next day she naps. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being a little loose on it. And right now with this second child that I have who's 3 months old, I don't even know when he should be napping anymore because I feel badly. He starts to nap, and then as soon as we pick my daughter up, he gets woken up. So I feel badly.
3 months, you're not. 3 months, I thought you're supposed to just let them nap when they want at that age.
I think so, and that's what I've been doing. But I also remember that with her, I think she was napping every 2 hours. They say at 3 months that they should not be awake for more than an hour and a half at a time before they get overtired, and that they should be napping consistently. But that's definitely not happening now with my son. And I feel badly about it, but I do what I can during the day when I'm with him. And then when my daughter comes home, it just is what it is. But I still think he's getting enough sleep. It's just not as scheduled as it was with her.
And that's what happens when you have a second child and you have your hands full.
Right, exactly.
Which is why I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. Anyway, I always think it's important to take kids on vacation, and so I think the takeaway here is if they're off schedule, it's going to happen. As long as they get back on schedule, our experience is that they do get back on schedule. Once they get back home, they just sort of go to sleep when they used to be. So instead of going to sleep 4 hours late, now she only goes to sleep an hour and a half late.
Right.
Back to our normal routine of going to sleep an hour and a half late.
Yeah.
It worked out perfectly.
Yes, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, forget it. We could talk next segment or another time about these bedtime routines. My husband's so frustrated because her bedtime routine is literally 2 hours. It takes forever to get her to bed. But then I just know, okay, we have to start earlier. So we could talk about that next, or we can also talk about, I know you were talking to me about thumb sucking and nail biting at 2.5 years old. So we'll talk about all that coming up in a few. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. I'm here with Marshall Stevenson, great friend, dad, and comic in New York City, and more coming up in just a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
And I'm here with my good friend, Marshall Stevenson. We're talking toddler topics, and we were just talking about bedtime routines and staying on schedule. And you made a comment that your daughter always goes to bed an hour and a half late. And my daughter lately, her bedtime routine is easily 2+ hours long. I mean, just when you think, okay, great, she's in her crib now, she wants to do something else.
Yeah, I mean, bedtimes are terrible. They're a terrible part of having a 2-year-old, and I guess every parent goes through it, and no parent has the magic bullet.
Right, exactly. So just to give you an example, so she'll take her bath, then she comes out of her bath, and we do diapers. We chase her around to put her diaper on, then we chase her around to brush her teeth. And then she still wants to nurse sometimes because her brother's nursing. So she, after her teeth are all nice and clean and brushed and mouthwashed, finally, after we chased her down and did that, it's, I want to, and she says, she calls it nama. She says, I want a nama. So then it's like, then I try to say, no, we've already brushed your teeth. Da, 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 da. Anyway, mom gives in. She does that. We have to brush her teeth again. And then we go into her room. And I got her this little music box. And so she always wants to hold the radio and she wants to dance, which is fun. So we dance a little bit. Then she wants to rock her babies to sleep, not once, like 10 times. And then after she rocks her baby, she wants to be rocked into her crib. So then we rock her. She goes into her crib. Then she wants to do this little piggy. Then she wants to do this little piggy like 5 times. And she wants her back rubbed. And then just when we think we're done with it all, and not only does she want all that, but she wants me to do it. And then she wants my husband to do it. So we go through all that. And then she says, so day. And then she wants to talk about our days. It's like,
that's right. That's right. Because, okay, so these are tactics. These is the way that they're just stalling. So would you like to hear our itineraries?
Sure.
No. It's, well, anyway, she says, now we have to play with fake food. Now you have to eat fake food. No. Now we have to brush our teeth. Now we have to have more milk. Now we have to... Now, no, you sit on the floor. No, I get to do one more thing. Yes, it's the whole.
Yeah, so you understand. And so what do you do to just end it and get her to come back?
I do think a couple of things. I do think, one, it is a phase that you just have to deal with to some degree.
Right.
But I also think that what time, we always want them to go to bed earlier because that's better for their health and they'll be better. But we have definitely found that she will fall back into the rhythm of getting enough sleep. Mm-hmm. So if you really want her bedtime to be earlier, wake her up earlier.
Right.
Or like wake her up from a nap in the afternoon, get her more tired.
Right.
And then she'll want to go to bed earlier. The other thing is, I did it and it worked once, which doesn't mean anything, so I'm not even telling you this. But, I put her in the car at, her bedtime, and she always falls asleep in the car, so she fell asleep. And we never had any luck moving her from the car to the crib. But she likes being on the couch.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was then figuring out that I was able to go car to couch. To 2 hours later crib.
Okay.
Because she was in much later sleep, and I was like, where do you want to be? The couch? Yes, couch. Fell back asleep. And then 2 hours later, she was in completely deep sleep. I could just put her in the crib, no problem. But if I tried to put her directly in the crib from the car, she was awake enough that she was like, no, crib, I don't want to go to sleep. It's not my bedtime.
Right.
Yeah, you eat fake food and sit on the floor.
Exactly. No, same thing here. I never used to be able to transfer my daughter ever. And I don't know if it was when we moved out of the city, but now sometimes I'm able to. But I agree with you. The couch always works. The crib doesn't always work. So we could talk more about this. I know there's so much to say, and I would love to, regroup on this in a few months and see if we're still in the same spot, because it really can drive you insane. I mean, I love my daughter very much, but when it's the end of the day, you want it to be the end of the day. Marshall Stevenson, thank you so much again for joining me. Always so much fun. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. And don't forget, you could always drop me a line, Michelle@passportmommy.com, if there's anything that you'd like to talk about on the show. If you're going through anything as a new mom or maybe a veteran mom that you'd like to see discussed on the program, and you could always follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Have a great rest of your day.